All right, guys, here we are. Super excited to go through the summer open doors. Also, if you have questions that you want me to answer specifically about a signature business, what does that mean? What does it look like for you based on your niche? And or maybe you don't know your niche, or maybe you have a niche that is what I call your soul niche, but it's not there, put a little light. It's not your marketable niche. It's not the one that is going to actually get you money, get you paid. And that was it wasn't a mistake, but it was a problem that I had, I was very clear. I knew detox, digestion, digestive wellness, and really autoimmune. Those were the three components of what wrecked my health. And also what led me to being frustrated and, frustrated by sometimes like the system and falling through the cracks. So long story short is in that year one of struggle, which was 13,000, year two, I doubled that, but still that was paying for Montessori school and not much else. I got $65,000 into debt. I was very fortunate that my mother-in-law, who it's not that she had, necessarily this money to give us, but she had amazing credit. And we were able to, take out different credit cards, which had never been the case in my life. And so what that led me to was not just, oh, this isn't working. It was like, that's how I support my family. And I also left commercial real estate, like a multiple six-figure business, because I wanted to do this, because I wanted to help people. So when I was struggling, it wasn't just a frustration financially. So a frustration because I wasn't going to be able to help people that struggled in the same ways that I did. And I know for everyone here, it's exactly how you feel if your business is not at the level of success that you want it to be. It's not just your ROI, although that's important. It's that you really want to help people who struggled with A, B, and C in the myriad of different ways that you did or that you witnessed somebody else. So to make a very long story short, I started realizing very fast before I was either going to go back to commercial real estate or figure it out that I needed to change my niche, my programs. And so that led me to opening up different ways for people to come in and work with me, because not everyone was interested or was, like, ooh, digestion. People were contacting me about like, I feel tired, my belly hurts, I'm overweight, all these different things that were not necessarily in my mind what I had niched down and what I heard over and over in school. Don't focus in a lot of areas. And I wasn't. But what I realized is within my niche, within the groups of people that I served, also known as your avatar, what is this person doing on a Monday? What are they doing during the week? What are their biggest problems? What are they like? Where do they live? What do they look like? Then you have to realize you have to identify not just the avatar and the niche, but the groups of people who are potentially going to be your clients. What are their biggest problems? What are they searching for? What are they Googling? They're not necessarily Googling clean eating unless they're buying that magazine specifically, or they have followed Gwyneth Paltrow and Alejandro Younger, or they heard this on Dr. Oz or the panel of doctors. Most people are, struggling in the simple, like, my stomach hurts, or I don't feel great, or I can't wake up, or I don't have a sex drive, or even if somebody does have hormonal issues, they might not ever be searching for hormone specialists. They may be searching for weight gain. estrogen dominance, progesterone issues, like addicted to sugar, whatever comes and falls underneath hormones, that could even be autoimmune. So what I realized real fast was that I couldn't just rely on one opt-in freebie. I had to really have those opt-in freebies be a message carrier, as well as the 3 signature PowerPoints that I always had. Now, given I did tons of webinars, and before that, tons of teleclasses when there weren't webinars, but I also did tons of workshops offline. I also did a lot of, when live stream came on, as you have seen me do, tons of, just holding up my phone, doing a live stream with a presentation. Still, those presentations were on different topics that fell under my large umbrella: detox, digestion, autoimmune. And I realized within those had multiple branches. So I want you to think of your niche. I want you to think of who you serve as the trunk. And then I want you to think of all these different little groups as the branches, and the leaves are like the message. So it's like the branches coming off, like, well, off of hormone could be weight gain, or off of gut issues could be, maybe candida, or off of this, So instead of declaring, oh, I'm buying this program, I want you to actually change the way that you're thinking. Because this market, what we're in, is different than what it used to be. I could put up an opt-in freebie years ago and, get 497 people and never even do a challenge or a giveaway or anything. But now we're in a little noisier of a climate, which is forcing you to get even more strategic. And I don't mean strategic where you let go of your soul. I mean strategic where you're really thinking about stepping back and saying, what would this person want? And where was I 15 years ago? So your free offers, I want you to think, what do you have in place? Are they feeding to the hero journey? Meaning, maybe somebody wants to go ketogenic, like the keto program. For that person who's not ready to go there, what is the journey? Is it taking them grain-free with our summer detox that has a lot of great candida information? Not that's going to get you in trouble in a red or orange state. All educational, all informational. Is it great for them to go grain-free first, then move to maybe our gateway paleo? And the reason you have a gateway is, I want you to think about this. Somebody comes into an opt-in freebie, or you have a single session. Are they jumping in, a discovery session, are they jumping in necessarily to a 6-month? Not always. And the problem was, for me, I found that not everyone, I would hear, that seems, that's really long, or I don't know you. And what I realized is the 6-month is great. We all know nothing happens in a single session. But I realized pretty fast that not everyone was made for one-on-one. One-on-one, you dive deep no matter what. And there were people who also couldn't financially afford it, even at the $197 I charged when I first graduated. So as time went on, I developed what this is, what you will see as a business funnel. What were the opportunities, free and low cost, that you could come in? How many of you, raise your hand if you've seen, get this for only $2, get this for only $7. That's your tripwire. That is a low cost program. That could even be in the free offer zone. So somebody comes in, or they see that, download this checklist. You've seen that. Or even, hey, get this 7-day program for only $17. Being an entrepreneur, even though you're a health coach, it is a numbers game, so to speak. So you don't want to take away the empath part of you at all. You don't want to take away the yin part, the yang, to balance your business and to allow you to be a health coach entrepreneur and not be in exhaustion and not feel like you're working and not having your stuff pay off, is to understand the relationship in a business funnel. If I took you right to, hey, do this, or sign up with me for 6 months and this is my only option. That's like me saying, hey, it was a great first date. We talked, now let's get married. Raise your hand if you agree. And you don't have to. But in my business, I was seeing that I was not getting the conversions. And when I look around in tons of different forums, all I see are coaches not making money. So maybe I did something right. And so what I did is discovered pretty fast I needed a 3-tier work with me. 3 options. And this also feeds into just like when you buy a car. Here's the base model, here's the little upgrade, and here's the sports package. It's a 3-tier work with me. Everything pretty much in the eyes of feeding into the different psychological and financial needs comes down to what packages are you selling. And just like a car dealer, not to, give this full analogy like that, but car dealer sits with you. Hey, let's talk about what you need. What do your kids need in the back? Do you need a roof? Do you need this? And sometimes you can figure out the in-between package between the base to the basic. And most often it's the basic to the sports. And that's the saving grace of your 3-tier work with me. So your different free offers help somebody to understand what you're about. And the other thing is that everything in this business, online or offline, and raise your hand if you agree, is about somebody identifying with you. You may not have a story like my story, like get over ulcerative colitis, Lyme, all this stuff, and I don't need to go into it. You can go to my site and read it. But they have to identify with you to follow you, like you, hire you, anything. And if they don't, so just sharing and being like, I have, this great program, that doesn't mean anything. What does it mean to you? Why was it part of your journey? And if you were like me, my journey with food, I tried every different way of eating, and it's changed over the time. And what worked for me when I was in my 30s doesn't work for me at 43. And how my life is now is different from my life then, and how I process stress and everything. So you never know in somebody's brain, because we're so unique, how somebody is feeling. They might be busy corporate, and trust me, I'm going to break down exactly what programs I not only pitched, but would pitch to each of these different. You have to step into somebody's brain and say, what were the deep down feelings I had? What did I wish I would have heard? So when you think about your business funnel and you think free offer to one-on-one, or free offer to, hey, come and find out about this group coaching, or offline or online, or this cooking class, or find out, about this master class I'm doing, it needs to follow a sequence. So I want you to think about the 3 or 2 signature presentations, so that when you do go in and introduce yourself locally to people, or you are doing a webinar, that you know that they define who you are, that they're part of your journey. So it's defining your hero journey and what you went through, and how you create and put your offers together is exactly what makes you different. So I love this example. What makes my coaching different? There's a difference between what I do and what an ADHD coach does. I'm not an ADHD coach, and I'm not a regular business coach. Many times, when they say to me, and I just pulled this as an example, it's not me. I worked with an ADHD coach, but she couldn't help me. So what you're coming out and saying, no matter what you do, and this is you're at the top of your business funnel. I want you to think about what separates you. What did you go through? What defines you today? Many of you have multiple certificates, multiple experiences, but did you have to detox and then go grain-free? Did you do Weston Price? Did you do raw? Did you struggle with sugar? What were the things that were part of your journey? So when you do say to somebody, you can say what I learned to start saying. You know, when you work with me, it's a totally different experience because I know you want to lose weight, but the way I teach weight loss, and this is especially because I'm in a red state, I'm now orange, but I would say, you know, when you work with me, you're getting this combination of what has worked for all the clients I have worked with, which is a totally revolutionary concept. And that means that we are going to cleanse your body of the toxins that cause the sludge and doesn't allow you to be a fat burning machine. Doesn't allow you to be a well-oiled machine. And when we do that, we're going to then see how your gut health is. And then we're going to see what is actually going on. Meaning, I'm not going to read your food diary. You're going to have these aha epiphany moments because you're going to start fueling your body with the foods that actually work and not just this whole eat this, eat that. And that is why working with me is so different. And the things that I've gone through. So I want you to start getting into this. Like, so yeah, I have this hormone workshop. I'm doing this because when I had or they thought I had a pituitary tumor, or I'm doing the sugar workshop because when my autoimmune decided to go crazy, my A1C went up by a point and I got freaked out. Or I'm deciding to do this gut workshop, or I do this gut workshop because I want you to start thinking in your program. Does that make sense to everyone? Raise your hand. Can I get an amen? Same thing goes for anything. I know many of you buy products from me, buy stuff from me, buy stuff from other people. I want you to start thinking about what you buy. Whether you buy something, whether you buy a system tonight, whether you buy a newsletter, a blog package, any of our new products existing, I want it to be the right fit for you because you identify with it, or you're like, or you have some people, some friends that said, oh my God, I really want to do this, or I really need to do this. I want you to think about what is actually right for your business. Online, offline, work with me. Online, offline, work with me. If you can create on a whiteboard these 3 columns, you will never feel like you're being pulled in 50 different directions. Because when we do that, and most of you are 9-to-5ers, most of you have someone you're taking care of, or you have your own health issues that are not fully resolved. Trust me, I've been there. Ran an entire business with not fully resolved health issues, and it's tough. So the more that you're really like think through what you need, the less crazy you're going to feel. So this is a work with me by Sarah Sullivan. She is a nutritionist that I followed for many, many years. And what I love about this work with me is it takes you through a process similar to Megan Rand, who I've talked about many times, who was an IN coach, and she was, you know, she even says in her testimonial and her interview that I did with her, I was seeing all these people in the forum, Rachel, getting like 20, 30, 40, 50 people to a detox, and I was getting 5. She's like, but then I honed in on how is that going to be different? So I keep going back to this. How are you different? Everyone's got programs. Raise your hand if you agree. Everyone's got programs. Everyone's got challenges. Everyone's got giveaways. I mean, God, you can go on these days and just download a program, right? But what makes it different? It is you like declaring your journey in front of that. Hey, we're doing this because when I was So that's what she did. She decided to really focus on hormones and reverse engineer everything. So even when you buy a program from me and it says adrenal, if that's not your thing, craft that to be, hormones, adrenal. Is that making sense to everyone? If you buy a program and it's sugar, where does it fall under your tree? Autoimmune, gut, toxins, sugar addiction. So always think of the lineage. And then, and I talked about this today, then when you reverse engineer, you should go like this, when you reverse engineer, you're thinking in what I call stacks. So everyone thinks of funnel, like where are they going through? But we often think that when we sign up for a webinar, right? Or we sign up for an opt-in freebie. We think, oh, I'm going to get a series, or I'm going to get a thank you. Your stack or your individual funnels are really about feeding the relationship that you so desire with that potential person. So I want you to start thinking, okay, if autoimmune's up here, what are the areas, the issues that people are searching for? How many of you think that people buy just because you say it's a thyroid program? Or how many of you think people buy when you start speaking about either your own experiences or the troubles that people have and the myriad of health issues that are blanketed? And how many of you see people that just say, oh, I've got this thyroid program, and they don't end up selling? They don't become their program. And you're like, doesn't make sense. Make sense of it. And you all have that ability. Right now, I bet each one of you could write down 5 to 10 groups of people that you serve still underneath the same niche. And if you don't know your niche, and this is what I always suggest, go with one that feeds the masses. Sugar, clean eating. And you don't even have to call it clean eating, because sometimes people don't even know what that is. You want to start talking about what happens when we don't eat clean. Who agrees with that? Do we buy because we say this? No, we buy because you say when you don't eat clean, this is what happens. 1 through 12. Or Chris Kressler says this. Or Mark Hyman says this. So without further ado, let's look at this work with me. I think that she so gracefully has put this together, just like Megan Rand, who, when she said, I'm going to focus on niche, the detox, it was detox, to group coaching for 3 months, where she did testing, then to a membership. That was her sequence. And it's not that she didn't do other things, but that was really where she was focusing. So I want you to think about what are your entry points to feed into your key subjects. And then where are you taking them? Is it planned out as a single session, a 2-month and a 4-month? Is it a 1 month, a 3-month and a 6-month? Think about what you feel is right, what you feel is appropriate, and ask the expert. This could be a membership, this could be a live stream group. I mean, there's so many different ways, but the whole idea is that you're giving them these simple ways to work with you. And if you go and you see also, if you go and see also Sarah's site, she also has workshops, low cost. So this is her work with me, and she's taking you through, but she also has a 14-day cleanse. She also has workshops. She also does cooking classes. She may have taken away her 14-day cleanse because she's doing these cooking classes and workshops. So I want you to think about, what are these low-cost ways? How many of you would love, a hour or 2-hour workshop where you had like 10 people in your kitchen, you charge them $197 for a program, you cooked while you're there, you did the kickoff call, and those 10 people left. It's like almost a $2,000 day. Even if you said $97, so let's just say 97 by 10, even before we go off. 97 by 10, I know, clearly it's 970. But if you did this 4 times a year, that's $3,880. That's more than I've seen some coaches make. And so I want you to start thinking simple ways, simple entry points, simple opportunities to work with you. And not everything has to be on your site. Some things are challenges, or some things are giveaways to build your list, or to engage with people, to build authority so that you do have a thriving practice online or offline. This is Andrea. I love this because she literally thought, and she posted this like the next day. So if you sit there and don't wait for perfection, don't wait for perfection. My first 4 detoxes I launched on Eventbrite. I couldn't figure out a PayPal button. And I don't think I'm not a smart girl. Just couldn't figure it out. But I didn't wait. I didn't say, well, I'm not going to do this. I worked my tail off. Probably about 150 hours between testing recipes and writing everything. And, my first program that I was launching. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's not worth it. So when you're selling a 3-tier offline, or you're working online, think of your single session. Think of that entry point. Detox, paleo, grain-free, easy weight loss, or buy the brand new 5-day Slim Down, which is a paleo program. Even the 21-day clean eating or reset your life. When you get into the 21, maybe that's a little longer, but you can still easily do that 60-minute or 90-minute session. And I would bet for many of you, you feel 90 minutes is worth time. If you get somebody, it's better than having nobody. So if you wanted to even make that a month, this is just taking through a tier. And again, think of the different, if somebody's coming to you and there's sugar, or if there's gut, or if there's detox, or what are the 3 areas that you're focusing on. Then you could have the 21-day eat clean, or you could move them into Revitalize. I used Revitalize at gyms constantly because I could use the 2-week weight loss, and I could use the 30-day portion with moms groups, or even the ebooks. You could craft a 2 months. So that could either be gut, that could be adrenal, that could be thyroid, that could be, it depends what, again, your focus is in your business and how you're going to use it. Or maybe you want to be like Carrie tomorrow, who bought the 3-month mindset and created a membership in ClickFunnels. So you want to think, how do you really want to use something? And how is it going to work for that potential person coming to you? And does it work for your life also? Then you could have a 3 or 4 months. That could be sugar, gut, mindset makeover, revitalize. Again, depending. I wouldn't, if you don't focus in the mindset area, don't buy a mindset program. Unless, and there was a company that just had bought this, a very well-known company, and they ended up buying it because they have a product that they sell. And they wanted to have this extra support for their group, for their people who buy, because they were moving them into kind of like a loyalty rewards. So it isn't always just has to be mindset. They're an energy company. They have an energy supplement, but they wanted to actually feed this in the mindset of how to stay energized and how to stay happy and how to get a healthy weight with the program. So you don't always have to use the actual title. And I do suggest, if you ever buy a program, please, guys, change the title just on your sales page so that you don't feed into search engine optimization results for everyone else. This was actually Sarah's, this slide that I was talking about. She has 14-day individual corporate programs. And her initial consult is $95 and a 45-minute follow-up. And this is what I was saying to you about why I also abandoned the 6-month model. I found that, one, it didn't work for me. It didn't convert well. And I'm not saying if it is working with you, great, do it. I know tons of people who have year commitments, 6 months. I had tons of 2-year-long clients, 1.5 years, and never sold a 6-month program. I sold 1 and then I quit because it wasn't working. And so I was finagling and trying to figure out my work with me and my prices, and it just didn't feel right. So when I started looking at other people like Sarah, who was one of the first people that I was following, and Sarah Foy, I was like, I see a different structure, buy for, 60-minute sessions. It feels less committal. And I know this is going to be weird because buying is all about psychology of people. And if you agree, raise your hand. If we see 6 months there and we're busy, and your niche is busy professionals who are adrenal fatigues and they're tired and they're not going to the bathroom and they're not sleeping and they have no sex drive and they've gained weight or bags in your eyes, everything. And you say to this amazing guy or woman, yeah, we can work together. It's going to be grand. 6 months. The busy person, because I worked corporate, usually goes like this. I may be traveling, I may be working. Oh my God, that's a lot of money. What if I don't really take advantage of the time? And then all of a sudden, they don't enroll with you anywhere. Think back to the first slide, the funnel, the business funnel. You're feeding into the different psychological needs of each person. The busy person, the mom who's overwhelmed, who I'd never give a detox to. Even though it's clean eating, but it can be overwhelming. Change can be overwhelming. So for the mom, I would think revitalize, 21-day clean eating, and I say that really simple. And then I would think, and this is why, just going to say it, guys. All right. I have mad respect for all business coaches out there and tons of people who create programs, but I have never been able 100% to live on one program. I was talking about this earlier, and this is not a BS marketing thing. That did not, my husband, I even told him that tonight as we were in the kitchen. He goes, that would have been a lot easier. And I said, yeah, wouldn't that have been? That did not work because if my niche even was gut or detox, and that mom who was coming to me and she was overwhelmed and she was stressed and she needed support and we identified and we really connected. If she doesn't need gut, why am I going to put her on gut? And if she's not doing detox, so I started developing these other programs because I needed them for my business. I developed the paleo program because I was so sick of taking bacon fat and lard out of every recipe. I was like, I couldn't handle it. And my clients couldn't handle it. And the 12 plus coaches who hired me when paleo came on were like, I've gained all this weight. Why am I so congested? I was like, probably like me, liver, gallbladder. So every program that I created, like the raw program, I had taught at a raw food institute, came back and realized raw doesn't have to be all that nothing. It can be this blend, or if somebody is eating raw, maybe they're eating raw wrong. They're not warming their digestive fire. How many of you have seen people who are all raw and it's like pale white, they're cold, they're just like, and we know raw is powerful and alkalizing and amazing, and so necessary. Sometimes when we do have to go and cleanse our body or during the hotter months to avoid what John Douillard says, the rashes, the digestive issues. Same thing with Anne Louise Gittleman. So we don't get wrinkles during the summer. But if it's not done right, we're deficient, we're tired. So each of the programs that I created, even revitalized, was after I read a book by Gabby Bernstein, and it was about changing your life in 30 days. And I remember I was rebounding, doing the work outside. In the book, it said rebound and breathe in and breathe out. All that doesn't serve you. And I said, what if I created, and this is when I was struggling with the 6 month, what if I create a 30-day program for my really busy clients like me? So I attracted athletes, busy corporate guys, busy moms. That was my niche. And those with crazy, freaky autoimmune. And I thought, what if I could pack homework into one book and take them day by day and say, okay, dude, listen, can you please do that castor oil pack in that program that I have? Because I was sick of recreating the wheel every day. Every day I was pulling the same information, and even though it wasn't documented, it wasn't pretty, wasn't nice, it was clunky. So I changed the game for myself. And every time, so I would create a program, I would just go and sell it. And that only happened because when I first created my detox, and then I'll zip it and we'll move on to you guys. I first created my detox within 3 weeks of putting that on my site. I got called by 3 Boca magazines. I had people being like, oh, wow, what do you do? And I was starting to make money in my sleep because I actually put a do-it-yourself program. And I'll tell you why. No one at that time, so I've been doing this business, I went, it's not forever, it's 8 years plus. At that time, there wasn't do-it-yourself. It was, So, but people were coming to me who couldn't afford me. People were coming to me who were sick, and my heart would break open when I would hear a baby crying, or somebody would say, I don't know if I can go on to tomorrow. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll do a do-it-yourself program. And then I morphed into just doing groups because I realized, and this was what I mean about soul intention. I realized I would have felt lost if I didn't have support, and I needed support. And so I even took many of my detox programs and just said a month of coaching. Because once you make people happy in your business, I have people still come back to me. They will always come back to you. So, okay, we're moving on. And I only tell you that to understand, if you don't know me, or if you didn't know those parts of me, why I created these, and that I was in business at the time and using them, and understanding like the careful creation that we do when we think about the information we're putting there, and also to keep you safe in a red or orange state, and also to keep you safe even in your one-on-one business. If you are doing a one-on-one business in a red and orange state, it is advised to have everything consistent, meaning you give the same program, almost like group, with the same program, same information. So as we are in a very litigious world these days, as many of us are in red and orange states, and states can change. Yellow can go orange could go yellow, vice versa. We went from red to orange. Deborah is asking, what is a red or orange state? If you go to nutritionadvocacy.org, and we can get into this after or when we go through this, you will see the different laws that govern. There isn't a law that governs health coaches. What the laws do is, if there is a law that governs what a nutritionist and dietitian can only do in that state, it then governs what health coaches can or cannot do. So I moved from a green state where there were really no restrictions on a health coach to a red. Yes, Lily, there'll be a replay. Sorry. Okay, so what is great to pitch to a gym? This was exactly what I did. No wrong. Challenges, they love challenges. Plank challenges, all those different things. But what do they not have? The material. So what you come in with a nice, simple, non-disclosure. So you guys have a clear, once you've pitched and you sat down and you said, this is what we're going to do, they're clear on what you're going to do. And you're also saying to them, you cannot use my materials after. They're your materials. Paleo, grain-free, adrenal is great because every athlete has adrenal issues because they're working so hard. Revitalize, 21-day clean eating, 21-day eat for energy, and sugar repair, because every gym loves those 6-week, 90-day challenges. So you could go in and teach off the ebooks. You could do group coaching. You could have an online component and offline. And I did all of the above. What would I pitch to corporate? Workshops, lunch bunches, eat for energy, because everything in corporate, and this is what I want you guys to understand, everything in corporate, everything busy is energy, productivity, all of that. So sugar repair, even ketogenic would be great if people are able to, go and do that. And so mindset programs, just like Tony Robbins says, and this is about the message. If you buy a mindset program and you're pitching it to busy people, don't just say change your mindset. Say change your mindset so you make more money. This was me actually at one of the gyms. I love working local. I suggest this to everyone. People will communicate and feel you and see you face to face. So I suggest, and this was me actually teaching a mom's group at a kickoff, I suggest having that secured in your business. And even if it's $17 workshop, or if it's a $25 workshop, think about this. $50 for people doing a shopping tour, and you're able to do 15. I used to do this for a group. $750. One program, and the win-win is if, and I did this, you go and you pitch to health food stores. It's a win-win. You say, hey, I'm going to come in. I'm going to do this. We're going to bring visibility, and everyone's going to shop here. Workshop, same thing. What you're doing, and this is where I think a lot of us are having trouble, is you're building authority. And sometimes you do need to, like I said, have those different entry points to feed to people. Feeding in our call to action on blog, like our blog package, which seriously, that's like a sick investment compared to how long it would take you. Or our newsletter package. Hey, here's the newsletter. Want to, hit reply, or check out this workshop I'm doing on probiotics. Or, here, buy this for only $7. This is a 7-day plan focused on anti-aging. If you think of 7 times 30 people, it's 210. I want you to start thinking goal-oriented. And I don't mean letting go of the empath part of you. I don't mean letting go of the soul. I mean starting to really run your business like an entrepreneur. And think of what is your bottom line. And where do you need to invest smart based on the things that a lot of people hear in the media and can say, oh, probiotics? Oh, I'd love to know about that. I want to know about the 5 top probiotics. I did a whole workshop on that. The top 10 probiotics I love. The probiotic foods, everything. Or take an entire program and do a 2-hour workshop. Even if you bought a program for like $300 and did a 2-hour workshop, you cover it. Or maybe you're into essential oils and you want to get the doTERRA Cleanse and Restore that we have that is totally compliant. Totally compliant. Also, our other essential oil programs that are for any oil, and they're totally compliant, trust me. No, we don't want anyone to get in trouble. So we really have tons of different things to feed into what you need to do or what you want or desire for your business. So I took some screenshots from Jessica because I love when I go and I stalk coaches' pages, especially those in my mastermind, which, if a program is not what you're looking for, maybe you need that support. You want to, join the Meal Plan Content Club Mastermind where we have 4 calls. Because I think when we're sitting there and we understand from somebody's perspective, like, where are we kind of either doing great so we can like propel, maybe where we like need to be a little more refined in our message. But I like to stalk the people, of course, that I know really well. So Jessica, I was stalking her today to just show you that this is something she just literally put up today. So you see that she's doing the work. You see that she's making it simple too. And my moderator, 2 of my moderators, which you're going to hear over the next few days, JJ and Sarah, both talk about that. Keep it simple. Show up, because if you make it complicated, and we all, trust me, I've done whole webinars on a 5-figure launch system that we use with our clients. Everyone's eyes go like this because it can be overwhelming. You're like, oh my goodness. Keep it simple and you will 100% have more energy to show up in what's really super important, which is your marketing, helping people to identify with you. So I just wanted you to see an example. This is an example of her work with me. She has such a beautiful, here is the single session. She then walks you right into wellness workshops, the Best You program, spring detox. And she's created this based on what works for her. So you might look at your, your offerings and be like, are these really working for what people need from me? Are they working for me? So, and then she has her spring detox. So we're going to get to hear about this tonight. And this was her and I in Florida when we met in Miami. So I'm going to just stop sharing for a second. These are actually the bonuses, guys. I will tell you, like you see 12 blogs, 10, this guide, social media posts, all these other materials. It's crazy. But that is what I like to do. I like to over deliver when people put trust in me to help, to help them with content. I'm not guiding your business. You're doing that. You're tapping into what your people want. But so hold on, bear with me. Let me just find Jessica. Okay. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Where is she? Now, hold on, Jessica. Are you there? There you are. I was like, is she there? Okay, hold on. I have to unmute you.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. I was like, oh, look at our picture. Okay, so guys, this clearly you can see we both live in Florida. It's hot here.
It is really hot outside today. It's 8 o'clock and it's still hot.
It's hot, guys. I mean, I'm like, whew. Okay. Say hi to Jessica. Jessica is, like I said, just in my opinion, and what I wish I would have seen more of when I was a coach, which is getting out there, showing that it doesn't take like a team of people, that it's just about showing up and really like sharing that message. So I'm gonna zip it because this little Jewish girl I'm gonna zip. And
Irish girl can talk a lot too.
I'm going to give it right over to you. And I guess, let's even start with the first question is, what were your fears about, buying a program and putting it into practice? And were there any, if any?
There was a little bit of if, because I had, like anything else, I'd never done it before. But what I was struggling with is exactly what you fill the void for us is I knew how to lead people through a detox, but I did not have the time to write everything down in my brain. And because I work with, I have a niche market, but every niche market that comes in, everyone still has different needs. So when I decided, some people came and I have one-on-one clients. I work at a functional medicine doctor's office, and some people came in and they said, I really don't need a full program. I just kind of am feeling like blah, and I don't know what to do about it. And then when I found your 2-week detox, I was like, this is a solution for everybody out there that cannot afford one-on-one sessions, don't have the time to do one-on-one sessions because they're working, and just need a restart, and to do it in a group environment because they need support, not just from me as a leader, but also from other people that are going through it. And saying on day 2, man, I quit my coffee and I am feeling terrible. Is anyone else out there doing that? And when people respond yes, they're like, all right, like I can do this if you can do it. And I think that's so important. And so there was a little bit of a fear because I've never done it before, but the fear is gone because it worked amazingly right away.
So take us through the steps, because I think this is where people get confused. And trust me, I could pick out names where, and I'm sure we've all done this, where we buy something and it either sits in a Dropbox or it sits in the membership and we don't ever do it. So what got you to be like, that's it from doing this. And what steps did you take? How long? And I know you have kids. So, you know, I want people to understand that this is about saving time, not about like, let me go and edit for 150 hours and then pull my hair out and need to detox.
Yeah. And that did not happen at all. Cause I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, 2 boys. So they're like, they distract me most of the day. What I did was I bought the program and I read through it cover to cover. I know people that are not in Florida are not going to like this, but I did do it by our pool while my kids were playing. And I read all the pages cover to cover, and I took notes on things. There really weren't that many changes, but I knew there were some things that people wanted to see my personality shine through and things that they knew that I was good at and that I have gone through. I added my story to it of why I became a health coach, what I'm currently really focusing on, and I just made notes, and then I branded it to my brand. I made everything match my website, but I made sure that I knew that program inside and out. And because I didn't have to recreate the wheel, it really didn't take that much time. I just wanted to be able to say, okay, I'm going to do this with the people that sign up. I did the 14-day cleanse right along with them. So I need to know what to do. I need to know what I need to go to the store to get. So my first step was just to download it. I printed everything right away, so it was in my hands, and I read it cover to cover. And that was really helpful because then I knew, like, here's what we need to do. Here's what I need to pass on to others. My second step was I shared the graphics. I picked a date right away, and I shared a graphic with the date so that people had a call to action. I did it right away. I finished.
That's it. Like you put yourself on a little of a deadline to be like, okay, I'm not going to over edit. I'm going to get this, and then I'm going to put it out there.
Exactly. And I did that in 3 days. And at first I was like, oh, should I save it to like after this holiday or after this is gone? No. I put it out there in 3 days. I'm looking at so I shared it to my personal timeline. I shared it to my business page, my blog group, my Instagram, and via email for my subscribers on my blog. So every market that I touch, I just sent them an email. I said, hey, listen, I have this awesome program ready for you guys. Here's the date when it starts. Here's how you can order. Here's a link to my website. Nothing too fancy, just a couple points of what they could gain from doing a detox. And I put it out there. And I got signups overnight. Like I did it before I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I figured out the PayPal thing and it's working and like money's coming in. This is crazy. And then the other thing I did was I asked.
Feeling though, that's what I just want coaches to hear this, because whether you have something that you've made or whether you buy something, the biggest mishap happens when you get it, you start overthinking and you overthink and the fear sets in, and then you're paralyzed because there's always going to be fear, guys. They're just, no matter what stage of your business, what stage of your life, you're not selling a phone or a calculator. You're selling yourself. You're not even selling a program. You're selling yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And it's true. And I asked, because of the relationship that I've built just with my coaching business, I asked 3 of my friends who have gone through programs with me before to share. I said, you don't have to write this like big testimonial or anything. Just share like, hey, my friend Jess is running a detox. I plan on doing it. I gave them the detox for free as an incentive for them to do it, and also to add more people to the group. Because again, the bigger the support group, the other people don't know that these people didn't pay. No one knows. So I asked for their support, and those 3 friends also got, like, one of my friends got, I think, 9 people to sign up. 9 people that I couldn't have reached on my own. So just by having her share it, not only did she benefit from doing the detox because she feels a heck of a lot better now, and now her whole entire timeline is like, I don't have bags under my eyes anymore. Guess why? I did this detox. Like, I'm not even asking her to do anything anymore, and it keeps going. So I asked 3 friends to share. I set up a subpage like Rachel showed you on my website with the spring detox and a PayPal button, really simple on the bottom that just says like, join us. I did an early bird special, and I kept to it. And I used to be bad at this. I used to let the early bird special go, and then I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I feel bad. I upped that price, and people still bought it after the early bird special. So have confidence in yourself of what you can give people. These programs are worth the money.
Let me just say this to everyone listening, because this is really important what Jessica said. I always say to people, and this is exactly what I did. I remember calling my friend Lisa Marie, calling like 5 other friends. And I was like, I'm giving you, it was my first program. and I didn't have testimonials. I didn't have anything. And I was like, I know you just had a baby. I mean, I have a little baby too, but can you please? And she was like, yeah, dude, for you, anything. So just remember, like, and I did that for 5 people, and then they started posting pictures of the recipes. Like, oh my God, I'm, doing my friend's detox. And people are like, what?
Yeah. It's free marketing and it's truthful and you're not doing anything. They're just sharing how they're feeling and what they're doing. And so you're not paying for ads where people are like, oh, I don't know. And the only other thing I did before the detox actually launched is I wrote one social post saying that the early bird special was going to end. Wow. And then I wrote 72 hours before I cut off the time because I wanted people to have like 3 days to really read through everything and prepare. And I put like a 72 hours left thing. And that was it. So the whole entire thing took.
You would have doubled that. Not the one post, 4.
I know. Yeah. And that's all that I did. And every single time that I noticed I posted that on one platform, someone else was like, oh, I forgot that you posted that last week. Let me sign up. Because sometimes, honestly, we are scrolling so much. People have intentions of doing it. And if you don't remind them, they're going to forget. So you're not being annoying. You're offering them something that's literally going to change their health, change their life, change the way that they feed their kids and the way that all these husbands are joining now with their wives. And it's like amazing because they're doing detox that they never would have thought and they're benefiting from it. So I think that was the really important thing is just like truthful posts about what you can expect. And people, they responded really quickly.
So you launched the first time and then you relaunched.
I did. Yes. So what happened was once I closed that door after the 72 hours,
but that's
people...
Guys, listen, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Understand that you're... What I love that Jessica said is I held true to that. And also, sometimes you can bend. I mean, this is where you're going to have to intuitively listen. Sometimes you bend, but also you create urgency and you can pop up. This doesn't take, like I said, doesn't take a lot. You pop up an interest list. Like right there, like, whoop, in a big, cute, like Canva image. No need to hire anybody. Go into Canva. Canva freaks you out. Go to PicMonkey. I was a PicMonkey-er much easier than I was a Canva-er. And you just say, hey, next one happening. Or a little banner. Or you take one of the images and then you edit it. And then you put a sign up now to get on the list for the next one. So you're in the know and get this free gift.
Yeah. And that's what I did. When people started saying, oh, it's already closed, I would write to them and apologize and say, yeah, our group started last week. Everyone's doing really good. But if you want me to let you know when the next one is, just keep, I'll put your name on a list. And so before, truthfully, I was not going to launch the one that I'm doing these 2 weeks. And there were so many requests for it that I had a list of about 10 people. And as soon as I decided to do another one, I called it Mothers to Memorial Day because we started the day after Mother's Day and we're going to Memorial Day. So it's like, moms have their day and then they want to do something for themselves and then we're taking them right into the unofficial start of summer. So I named it that. I let people know that it was the same detox, but that we were having a new group. All 10 people that said that they wanted to signed up. And then I did the same marketing thing that I did last time. I just put a couple things out on all my stuff and I filled it 21 people this time.
That is, and tell just so everyone knows, and what was your price? Because guys, just also everyone's saying woohoo. That's what someone just said. Just know also standard for a 14-day. That's called a gateway program. That means if you think of the gateway to your business or the gateway to finding out about you, similar to your free gifts. This is for somebody more like, what's this person about? Let me download this. Let me see what this is about. The gateway is like the non-committal. And I love what Jessica brought up is, and I talk about this all the time, not everyone, and I firmly believe this because I've had tons of clients. My youngest, she was 6 months old. Clearly she couldn't talk, but my oldest young being 96. Some people are not meant for coaching. They don't need to go there. They don't need to talk about their inner child. They don't need to talk about
100%.
The stuff that happened when they were a child, or they may not in this lifetime. And it's not a judgment thing. It's also not everyone is designed that way. Certain people love to run in marathons. Certain people love to run alone. Certain people love yoga. Certain people love swimming. Everyone likes something different. And if you notice each sport, which is always how I relate things, you'll notice a certain type of personality is with the marathon runners. Certain type of personality runs alone. And you can figure and see that also in your groups. I was petrified to do group coaching because I thought, I'm going to mess up. But as I started to see how powerful the transference was offline, and also how powerful even people in a group, the transformation happens even that much faster than sometimes when you do one-on-one.
Yeah.
So, okay, what did you charge?
So I did the early bird special was $97. And then I bumped it up to $147. And like I said, the majority of the people hopped on it at the early bird stage, but I still did get probably, I would say, 25% that paid full price. So there was no like, oh man, I missed the early bird. Okay, forget it. There was none of that.
And you can also, and I'll just give you guys another strategy as you're thinking, even as, you know, again, I didn't want to just get on here. I thought a lot about this in the last few weeks. I didn't want to just get on and be like, my programs rock, buy them. I wanted to really come in and talk about like how I built my business and like real things that I did and bring on coaches that are really doing this. And so when you're thinking about even upselling, so often people are like, upsell sounds so overwhelming. The upsell is the next opportunity. So for some of you, it's essential oils. That's your upsell. For some of you, it could be, and I used to do this on my page, I would say, you can do the program for this price, and an average is $97 for a 14-day. We have coaches, some are higher, some are lower. Just price is relative to either how you feel, but also just strategy. But you can also, and I did this always, I would say, want to do the program plus a jam session with me, and then boom, that is your single session. That's also the opportunity. What? They've gotten to know you. They're like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. And then they can say, yeah, you know, can you tell me about that 6-month program you were talking about? Then that makes sense. You aren't like at the first date, like, I think you're cute. I think you're cute too. Do I get married? You're like, so we went out. We had a great time. You brought me home at an appropriate time. Now it's time to go out again. Then we're going to go out again. Great. Now we're ready to get married. Now we're on a solid foundation. That is a sustainable business. I've seen, and I call them one-hit wonders. Anyone can be a one-hit wonder. The 630 or the 200 this or, 200 programs sold. But what was their business after? And how much did they invest in Facebook ads? How much did they invest in the team? How much did they invest in marketing? Did they hire someone to do their social media? Probably. So I want you to start looking at coaches and asking also those questions, like, just like you're asking, right now, and Jessica told you, I didn't do Facebook ads. This was the exact strategy. I did this on my own. And again, it's not bad if you ask a virtual assistant or ask for support, especially if tech or even editing makes you feel like you're going to go crazy. But then balance it and know, that the marketing does need to come from you. And people need to hear you. And that's why I am big on live streams, even if people are like, because people do get to hear you if you want to be in the online space. You don't want to be on the online space, that's fine. Meet people, talk with people, communicate with your friends, let the world know, hey, this is something I'm doing, I'm super pumped. These are the areas I'm focusing on. And I just want to let you know in case you're struggling like I did or somebody.
I love it.
Somebody saying I offer walk and talks instead of sitting during sessions. Oh, I love that. Promotes activity. Also became yoga certified to make everyone clients love extras. And also remember on your pages, if you're struggling to get conversions, I'm a big bonus person. I love a deal. So I love shopping for a deal. And just like all of us, so do your clients. Your clients want a steal. Your clients want to feel loved up. So, if you are struggling in that beginning conversion, step back first and be like, whoo, am I a little crazy? Was everyone feeling a little of that crazy energy? And then if it's not that, be like, hey, I'm doing this fast action bonus for everyone who does this. And I did this on multiple programs. I sent them a eucalyptus oil. I sent a lemon oil. I sent a grapefruit oil because that was $10 off my bottom line. So start thinking in your head of the simple things where someone's like, oh my God, an essential oil, that can really up level and separate and make you different.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I add 2 things to that? Because 2 really positive things happened since the first launch of the cleanse. So like you said, I know a lot of health coaches were involved because we really were a wealth of information for our clients and just for people in our everyday life. So we often pair with companies that we feel aligned to. And a good way when you're in that Facebook group and you have 14 days with these people to get to know you, they're going to ask for your recommendations. So if you love essential oils and you are a part of a company that sells it, tell them why you use those. I paired with a company that has gut-brain access products because that's what most of my clients were struggling from. So when my people in the cleanse said, well, what probiotic to use? I had an answer for them. I wasn't selling them any, I didn't feel like I was selling them anything, but they wanted to know, well, what do you and your family use? So you can do those things. A lot of those things are involved, and those are other ways that we can teach people about what we use and also, like you said, have an upsell. And another thing that happened, and it crossbreeds kind of the online and offline, is someone that did my cleanse that was local. She did everything online, but she was a local person. She asked me to come to her company to teach people about why they should do a detox. So I had a room full of, down in West Palm Beach, I think 12 lawyers. Some of them walked in and was like, what is this like 5-foot girl doing talking to us about like green juice where we have 20-hour days and we don't have time for this. But she asked me to come in because it helped her so much. So she said, do you want to talk about it in front of a live group? And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. They all purchased it. All of them. Like they all just were like, and all I told them was in that meeting, like I didn't really even go through how it was going to happen. I basically said, if you have these things happening in your life, you need a detox. The stress level just by walking in that building, that was like number 1 for me.
And that's what you said. You talked about the pain issue, that what they're experiencing. If we go in and we just pitch, so I want to talk to you about this weight loss program, or how to go grain free, or this. People are kind of like,
oh, absolutely.
You say, are you experiencing, or is your significant one, or is your child? I can't tell you how many families I've worked with who have children with issues, especially in this day and world, because so start to really think about the human conversation and not just about the program, the business. That's just the cement. Like that's just the foundation that you're standing on. So you're more confident. And when people say, why, is it possible to do one program? I always think, I don't know if I would have had the confidence that I had or have built my list in all the different places, Pinterest, Instagram, Google Plus, with free offers and different classes. So, like I said, think about how you're speaking, because I guarantee your conversions are going to be that much higher if you start speaking in a way that addresses the internal conversation, or that 3 a.m. wake up when the liver is at the height and it goes, is my cholesterol going to be okay? Am I going to have this? They're not like, oh my God, at 3 a.m. They're like, I want to go ketogenic. That's not what they say is, wow, I've got massive inflammation. Or they don't even know the word inflammation, because everyone I used to talk to, I would say, do you know what foods, I never said the word inflammation here. I would say, do you know what foods make you feel good and not? And they would be like, well, my fingers are so tight. And I'd be like, do you know what they're? And they're like, no, because it's like that all the time. I all the time feel tired. I all the time feel, blah. That's always what you get, blah.
Yes, I got a lot of those at that meeting. When you say, how are you feeling? And that's how I know. Yeah.
So I want to just thank you and see if there's anything else you want to tell the crew before I let you go back to your family.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for having me on. It was such an honor. I can't wait to see you again. Guys, if you're out there and you're just wondering, like, you're seeing it, this was not something that just came easy to me. I mean, I've been health coaching. I graduated IN in 2011. But I want you guys to know that you can do this and launch with confidence. I put it out there, not in a way that's like, if you follow my detox, you're going to, I told my story and I said, here's why I feel really good. And here's why I have the energy to keep up with my kids and work at a doctor's office and do all this stuff. And you can have that in your life every day. Just take some advice from me. And if you launch with confidence, people are going to want to follow you. And it doesn't have to be like, post after post after post. Like Rachel said, put up a recipe that you're making for the night. We are good food cookers. We're health coaches. Like, we may not be like fine cuisine, but we're making really healthy stuff out of actual food. And people see that and say, I wonder if I could actually make that myself. And then when you give them the recipe and it's like 5 things, people are like, oh. Because when I tell my clients to go on Pinterest, they're like, everything that's on there is like 40
that
things.
Was one of the things. You brought up such a great point. When I first became a coach, there was 101 cookbooks, was one of the online community, online recipe. And Alana's Pantry came on the scene, and Josh Axe. They were the only 2 people that had 5 ingredient recipes. And I'm a 5 ingredient recipe person.
Me too. I can't do more than that.
I kind of just riff in the kitchen. But we started developing recipes. I mean, soups maybe have to be a little different, but they have to be easy for your clients. And that's why every one of our programs, thyroid, which is grain-free, are all based on thyroid foods. The adrenal, one of my chefs went through adrenal fatigue. So we cultivated those recipes to be that which would be great for adrenals. The hormone workshop doesn't have recipes, but like everything in there is easy to digest information. So if you're interested in any different thing and you think, well, my client's not going to be able to do this, they will be able to do it, and they'll be able to do it with their family, or they'll be able to take the recipe and go replicate it if they're taking out, if they're getting delivery food, or if they're eating out.
Yeah, it's so simple. And that's the one I had a follow-up, asking what they learned and how they felt. And one of the things that every single person said was, number one, they were feeling amazing after the 14 days and that the recipes were so easy to follow. They were really scared to sign on to a meal plan because they were like, oh, what is this girl going to make me eat? And everything across the board was easy. So all these programs are amazing. Do it and just do it with confidence. We're trained good people. Health coaches are awesome. The world needs a lot of us. I feel like every health coach that I meet, I want to work with them on everything because they really we have that passion inside of us that we want to make people feel better. So take that and share that, and people are going to see that through anything you do on social media and anything that you do through these programs. So you guys can do it.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you for having me, Rachel. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. All right, guys. She is awesome, isn't she? Let me just... Okay. Thank you, my dear. All right, guys, we're going to get down to some questions. And trust me, I'm not going to keep you much later. I want to get you everything that you need, but I want to get down to some of your questions. Deborah asked, I'm in the beginning of getting my business started and see lack of energy, not feeling well. How do I set up a program? Do you mean which program to buy, or how do you set it up? I would say for energy, that was one of the reasons I developed the Eat for Energy program that we just released right now, because energy is such a core issue for people. And so I always explain, based on your potential client, maybe they have energy issues. Maybe it is thyroid, maybe it's adrenals, maybe it's gut, but we never really know. And so if their key complaint is, I have energy issues, then we want to be able to deliver that to them. And the easiest way that you can deliver a program, simple. You buy the program, download, and I'm going to show you actually the programs. Actually, let me even just show you right now. You're going to buy a program, you're going to download, and then you're going to think of the easiest, where is that? Think of, hold on, think of the easiest way, for example, like Eventbrite is really easy, or you could actually think of putting just like Jessica did, and just like many people do, we provide the sales page copy. So I'm just going to actually show you this. We provide the sales page copy. You take and you copy and paste. So I'll even show you. You're going to copy and paste, like let's even look at like 21 Day Eat for Energy. These are how the folders look. This is how it's going to look when you buy a program from us, any of the programs. You're going to have a client folder and a business folder. You're going to be able to go in and go to the sales page right here. You're going to then open the sales page, which is in Word, written by one of my epic copywriters, and you can copy and paste, cut what you desire, cut a lot of it, cut nothing either, and then take the PayPal buttons, which we also provide for you in your social media package. PayPal buttons are right here. Choose the color that you want, it to be on your site, or choose the, download now or sign up or enroll, and then you hyperlink the PayPal to that. Another one that is super easy, if you don't know how to connect PayPal, you don't want to get into that, and I use this because I couldn't figure it out, is eJunkie, EJUKNKIE.com. And it's actually a one download, so you don't need to worry about automation. You don't need to worry about that. We do give you support emails in our programs, and those support emails could be put into automation, could be put into any system, or you could actually put them just into the forum as posts, like your daily posts. You could also, and many people deliver this as a course. So they might decide, I really love this, but I'm going to break the guide. So I'm just going to give you an example of the guide and how we have 31 pages. So you could break the guide down into different modules and put in Teachable, Thinkific, ClickFunnels, any different place that allows you to really kind of just itemize. And you'll see, we just really like to give a lot of information, but we also like to break it down, even in your guide. Week 1, week 2, action steps, homework, so that if you are coaching one-on-one, you can be like, hey, I used to say to my clients, did you do your homework? Because it just kind of creates a little consistency in your one-on-one business, as well as in your group programs, whether they're offline with an online Facebook forum, or maybe you don't do that at all, or maybe they're online completely, you are set. Deepa is saying, can we not use, oops, hold on. Sandy's saying, my niche is autoimmune and gut is my own story too. I'm trying to use the assets I already have, one of them being your gut program, also of your mindset. I have read it over. It's such a beautiful program. I'm trying to work this out on how to fit in my niche. I would just say, well, that's easy. I feel like that's using, like saying, you've got to take charge of your mindset for your gut to restore. So I would just say, make it so you're niching it to your gut. You're niching it to your people who have gut issues. Hey, you have gut issues? I have a different way of addressing it. Hey, you have autoimmune stuff? I have a different way of addressing it. Hey, you want to learn about, how to get your gut out of X problem? Per the work of Terry Walls, per the work of Mark Sisson, per the work here's this paleo program, or here's this ketogenic. So in the autoimmune, I would say there are programs that I just think, always are great fits. But that also has to be based on your own style of working, of how you operate, how you work. Elizabeth saying, are all social media folders in programs? Yes. You will see, let me just go to, let me go to like sugar, because a lot of people, it's just easy. You will see, you know, in each, and that's why I do encourage to read the sales page. You know, I'll send out the replay. And I also encourage, no joke, seriously, those who take advantage and call me, which you'll have in the replay, my phone number, where they schedule an appointment with me and go over, you know, what programs to buy or how to put them together. It's so much less stress, and it just ends up working, you know, out. So you'll see the different programs offer different things. It depends what's in the social media package. Here, the package is a little, you know, bigger, and maybe there's not PayPal buttons, but this is also a more costly program than the 21-day Eat for Energy. But you will see, like, these are the quality of our banners. We make it so that you can go in right there and edit to your liking. And the same goes for really every different program that we have. And you will see even the client folder. Some of our larger, we call them signature mega programs, they have a vegetarian version and an omnivore. So make sure that you look at that program. Make sure that you think about, what do you need? You know, what do you need for your business to list build? What do you need to engage? Are you going to do a giveaway maybe as like a huge list builder with a program? What are you doing to build authority, especially if you have like 150 people or 300 on your list? Somebody saying, I want to work with people with MS, but also weight loss. So I've interviewed Terry Walsh. She's one of my heroes. And when I think immediately MS, I think of Terry, because that's how she recovered herself, was her system. So when I talk about systems, I don't just mean like Entreport or Lead Pages or MailChimp or, you know, all that. I mean, what is the system of success that you really want to promote? So let's just look at the ketogenic program. And again, if you want to schedule a time with me, and, you know, I really encourage you to, I will get on a Zoom with you, and it will just be you and I, you know, crafting what you need. And if you don't see what you need, you know, maybe in the system, because we have our systems at yourhealthcoachbiz.com right on the homepage, and we niche them down, because what I found is a lot of coaches had trouble with the business funnel, the opt-in freebie, the gateway, the signature, the mega, so that they could build out their work with me, build out the programs that they need, have the opt-in freebies, have the PowerPoints. I would look at this. And if you wanted to take them through a process, you may want to think paleo to ketogenic, or just do ketogenic. And if you have people that need to do it shorter, then you could always do it shorter. But you will see, like, the guide here, it is just unbelievable. So, and the ones that are specialty guys, for example, adrenal, I feel very confident. But the hormone workshop, I hired a hormone specialist. The thyroid program, because that's not my zone of genius, I hired a thyroid functional medicine practitioner. That was her specialty. Ketogenic, same thing. So I always make sure that the program that we are putting out there for you is written and also run by coaches who, you know, are very knowledgeable in these areas. But I make sure, especially with the specific ones, that I do hire somebody to also support through the process, help with some of the writing, so that we can do revisions. So you see, this takes you exactly, Terry Walls is right there, it takes you through like all the information. This could be your weekly calls. We do have a kickoff and a wrap-up script, but this can define like even workshops, everything. So that would be one I really suggest. And I would look at both, like, does paleo fit? And again, financially, we have a paleo basic, we have a paleo rock star, and then we have ketogenic. So I would look at that. All of the recipes are true ketogenic, not keto-ish. You can see the recipes right here. They're so good. They are so, our chef, so good. So good. And you will see this because it's kind of a little shocking when you're like, 5 ingredients, how do you end up doing that? Make very simple smoothies. And you will see this is the only program that has nutritional information, because I do work with a lot of coaches. Maybe that's out of their scope, but that's also why my Fitness Pal and some other things are really great if that is out of your scope. So you'll see very easy stuff. We create the suggested meals. We do the shopping list. We do everything. So you can see even right here, this is what your photo will be like. Week 1, if you're getting a program where there's more weeks, like Mindset Makeover has 12 weeks, Gut has 8, Sugar has 6, Revitalize is 4 plus an extra 2-week weight loss. So I would look at that one. I hope that helps. Let me know. Carrie's saying, how do I create a strong presence on social media to get followers to care more about what we have to say? Well, let's just say this, guys. Facebook has changed significantly, just even in the last, 6 months. Even if you notice, I even have to make sure I go to the people I care about and hit that see first on their profile, on their personal. And then you have Instagram that has changed. I think the biggest thing that I know I did right was to really always talk about, like, this is what I do. If you look at some of my earlier posts from Rachel's Wellness, or you look at my earlier videos, I'd be like, hey guys, okay, this is, and I would always say disclaimer, just remember I am a mom on a mission. I'm a health coach, helping, blah, blah, blah. But I want to talk about this. This is the colloidal silver I love. And I just became a person that didn't just share what everyone else was sharing. And that was at a time where Chris Carr was really rising and David Wolf was really rising. And every other coach I saw was just sharing from their pages. And I thought, people are confused. They have great information, but what if I actually come in and share, this is how I take care of my children. This is what we do in our house. I had gotten, ulcerative colitis, bit by a Lyme tick. The list kind of goes on, and we don't have, I don't want to keep you guys here till 10, but I shared on a daily basis. So what I suggest are these steps. Number 1, define the 4 pillars you want to be known for, as I was talking. Get specific in that. Get specific also, the second part of that is to define what you really feel that people are missing. What are they looking to you to kind of create for them? Meaning, are they confused about, is dairy good? Is dairy not good? Is butter good? Is butter not good? Are they looking for, and even one of the things that I love about blogs, Carrie, and I hope this helps, is everything's about content. Everything. So an average blog takes a person an hour to write. So we end up crafting the blogs. We have the blog package. Most of our programs have blog components or newsletters, something, because what do we get stuck on? The content. So I really suggest going and doing, a live stream, letting people know, hey guys, I go, live every Sunday, or maybe I go live every Monday morning at 9 for the tip, and really defining what are you going to talk about that week? So if you're talking about keto, keep it on that, keep it on fat burning, keep it on topics that people really want to know about, that you feel like there's confusion. Then, start dripping out on your business page, or even on your personal. Hey guys, meet me over on my business page, because Facebook does not like you to make your personal page just one big shopping center. Say, hey, meet me over there. I've got a gift after this live stream, so you can build your list. You can also be really being specific with the things, not making claims, not telling people, do this, but you're like, hey, when I was going through this, so you become a leader in that industry because you went through that. Deepa is saying, can we use blog materials and newsletters? 100%. The newsletters that we wrote this time are speaking from the I perspective. The blogs are more information. They're both information, but I would say they can totally be swapped. I believe in saving time. So the faster that you get into I've got to shoot one video a week. It doesn't have to be a live stream. But, you want to build that comfortableness, that authority. Hey, I'm going to shoot a video, or maybe it's every 2 weeks. I'm going to blog on Monday, send out my newsletter, which is from my blog, and send out my newsletter maybe Thursday at 6 or maybe Thursday at 7 at night, and get yourself a little scheduled, even if you're working a 9 to 5. So the answer is yes. Okay. Yes, there will be a replay, 100%, guys. And there will be a replay for the next 4. Just want to, recap so is that tomorrow Carrie is talking about how she created a membership. The next day, Sarah is talking about, and she just posted this in our forum, guys, but she works offline. She is been one of my moderators, like JJ. She is like a walking, just unbelievable health information. So she and I have been working together for, I want to say, close to 3+ years in my forums. She's just an amazing coach. She's been working offline all the time. She decided just 2 weeks ago she's going to break into the online space. She got a challenge, 100 people. She decided, because she even said to me, my goal for this season is to go online, and to see if I can be in that market. And she literally launched a program and in an hour made $1,000. So when I tell you, and you will see Sarah, and you will see Jessica's personality, and you will see all the other personalities of the coaches that I'm really close to, they are just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get out there. I'm not waiting for perfection. And they utilize the materials. So the more that you actually sit back and say, okay, all this social media here, I'm just going to go back in here for a second. And then I am going to show you, all this social media, all I have to do is go and maybe change or put a call to action on it. So the whole idea is that you're saving yourself time. You're saving yourself energy. And you're also creating what I call higher value. I know, isn't that crazy? It goes all the way down to 2013. So you're also creating higher value for your strategy sessions, creating higher value for your talks. I used to do a few signature talks. One was how to detox on the go. One was eat your belly healthy. That was just about digestion. I used to do one, love your liver, because that was, people would always say, can you do stuff on hormones? And I would say, it's never been I'm interested, but I'm not going to go learn about the 8 hormones that we put in the workshop. Never called to me. So that's what I mean about don't buy something that doesn't call to you. It never called to me to focus on hormones. But what called to me was teaching people how to simply take care of their liver without, and be decongested. Okay. So I just want to show you also the detox. This is the Rockstar. You will see it on our site. If you're new, especially, I know it can feel overwhelming, and that's why either, just go with your gut or contact me. Seriously, everyone knows I am just a message away. This is what it would look like when you open your folder for the detox. You will see the difference between basic and Rockstar. A huge amount is often the business builders in the detox. I like to give an extra report, almost like a bonus for your sales page. So we did one on Candida because in the summer, that is not uncommon for people. It's moist, it's hot. People get rashes, people get athlete's foot, people get jock itch, people get digestive, white tongue, coating, all of that kind of basic stuff that Donna Gates talks about. So if you were to say, oh yeah, and I've got this information, and be like, for the work of Donna Gates, and then we create the guide, and the guide, we pack in there a lot of information, stuff that I used in my one-on-one, and stuff that I wanted people to understand if they were working with me. And I wanted to help them so they would be safeguarded in their life. No one wants disease. So, and we went into a lot of the gut this time, because like heavy metals, Candida, all that kind of biofilm, because I always look at what are hot topics out there, because those hot topics are going to be what also sells your program. It's you and a hot topic, or it's you and a hot topic matched with something that really fits for your people with a clear message. Let me just see hi Jocelyn. What if I want to go live every day? Saw the need for it. How would you recommend? If somebody wants to go live every day, and I do often, I just say, have a really clear, I would suggest taking parts of any program and going live on that, or taking a part of the PowerPoint. I often sit there with my tripod and I'll be looking over, and say, hey guys, look, I'm going to go through some really key information today, so that you're a little structured. You're giving them exactly what they want. And so also you can say, hey, and if you want information on this, I can PDF this PowerPoint. Just shoot me an email. Boom. That is old school marketing. I always say to people, don't sign up, especially with some of the UK and EU regulations that are coming up. Can't just say, sign up for this. But you can also say, hey, shoot me an email. Or, hey, message me. And all of a sudden, you're starting a conversation. Somebody will get on your list if they want to do that. But if you have that conversation and they get some really high value, which, if you've ever seen a bot or anything, kind of the whole thing about engaging with somebody and giving them something for free, you could just be like, hey, for anyone that was on this live stream, message me, or anyone that lives in my area. I happen to be doing a cooking class this week for $35 or $45, or I happen to be doing this for $50 or $97, whatever the number is. So I want to just end this with showing the reason I created this detox was I had a myriad of food allergies. And ones that I would pick up every different book, every different detox, and be like, oh, can't eat that, can't eat that, can't eat that. And I started to think of all the people that were like that. Liz Lipsky is a huge inspiration for me. Alejandra Younger, John Douillard, Linda Page. The list goes on. And so when I went to school and then continued to 3 detox schools after with an additional certification at 1, it was really because I sat there and was like, why is there so much infertility? Why is there rise in cancer? Why do we have kids on Ritalin at 6? It was all the whys that we all ask, and we can't just say, oh, it's the food, because the food could get worse, and it probably will. So what is the solution? And so when I started to really look at the power of detox, and that's not just the food, that's moving the body. I love what somebody said tonight about movement. It's the mindset, it's conscious eating, it's everything. And for busy humans like me and everyone else, we've got to slow the roll down and make sure that our body is draining, is filtering, is eating seasonally, which is why I love John Douillard, and all the recipes are based on his seasonal eating chart. So we don't just make up this stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. I pull from information. I pull from, my own schooling. And when I don't know, I ask. Tony saying mindset is still my thing. Want to combine mindset and menopause. Oh, I love that. I would do, if mindset was your thing, I would look at maybe like either the detox going into mindset makeover or the detox going into revitalize, because that's kind of a no diet, or the detox going into like reset your life in 21 days. Those are our mindset programs. Is mindset makeover. That's a 3-month. 21-day reset your life in 21 days. That is vegan and omnivore. Mindset makeover is vegetarian and omnivore. Or the detox, because maybe you feel that someone's got to like, you know, kind of cleanse their body. The other, and then I just want to make sure. I mean, I would also look like adrenal, I think would be a great, only because the foods are so nourishing, because it's the adrenal. And what happens, as we know, perimenopause, menopause, is we're so dried out. So Tony, if you want to, you know, message me and we could get on a call together, you know, we can totally do that. And the other one is for many of you who do work with people, you know, I'm not saying I'm old, but people who are, you know, looking for like anti-aging. I mean, that's the whole idea, is we're going into summer, you know, what are you selling that could be like a really low cost? Or what are you crafting that you really believe needs to be there for your clients? So yeah, Tony, I would say, and also Tony, and for any of you who are thinking about crafting membership, which is what Tony's saying, I would definitely listen to Carrie tomorrow, because Carrie did it by herself. She did it with Mindset Makeover. But if you can't afford Mindset Makeover, the first one I wrote was Revitalize. That's like on the 4 pillars of health in life. And let me just even show you, because it's so freaking cool. This is so, hold on. Too many programs, right, guys? Let me just show you Revitalize. I think this is a different, so Revitalize comes in 4 ebooks, and it's a different, these are different covers. This is an old Revitalize, but it's still the content. And so the amazing thing, and you'll see like each of these, when I thought I was telling you about my busy clients, each of these are about, come on. Each of this is about taking somebody through like these like simple changes. So we go week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Because we can't make changes, and that's what Reset Your Life in 21 Days is about. It's like 21 days to reset your life. And this is very similar. It takes you kind of like day by day, what the homework is, believe you can do it. Day 1, setting up your journal. So I used to have my clients actually go day by day with me. Like I would be like, hey, text me, you know, like if you want, like when you've done that homework. And that's what I was saying. I'd be like, did you do your homework? So this is also a great program. If you, Tony's saying she has Revitalized. If you have Revitalized, and I would say Mindset Makeover is pretty freaking phenomenal. And you could 100% with all that content and the amount of recipes, create just more recipes and even have recipes for the whole year. Okay, I'm going to just close with this one question from Carrie, saying, when approaching gyms, are you selling them the program to use with their clients? No. When I'm approaching gyms, and when I have, and I worked at, you know, many, I would go in and say, so I see you got this rocking gym, but look, this is the value I can bring to the gym. I have like about 6 programs in my mind that I think would be a great fit here. And then I have some other opt-in freebies that are like 3-day, like in the paleo, there's like a 3-day paleo cleanse. Like I was like, or we could also do like challenges. So we just started doing that. I did 90-day transformations. We did 8-week, like, renew you. We did a January renew you. So, you know, what you kind of see at other gyms, you know, and they're just like, oh, come in and do renew you. I would come in and I would teach on the weekends. And that led to, you know, other people hiring me one-on-one. And it also, you know, as I mentioned, I would go in and, you know, have them sign a non-disclosure agreement first. And then I would show them the program or the programs as we really talked about what are the needs of their people and why would they want to maybe invest in this additional service. And it just, it blew up in a good way. And like after 2 years, I was just like, I need my weekends. But it was super fun. It's also, I think, fun, guys, when you're a coach and you're working in your office alone, find community, create community if you can't find it. Get out of your own way. And you know, that's a big thing that I really pride myself on, is talking about the mindset part in addition to the business part. So we're going to see you. Yes, I did. I did a 60-40 split or 70-30. It would depend on numbers, or I would charge per talk. And that just all gets kind of broken down with the person you are pitching to. Like, for example, sometimes you get percentages. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes certain people charge for talks for $300. That's why I would say know your individual price for a single session. That also helps you on talks. Know the value that, or how many people are going to possibly come. And if you feel like they're not going to get a huge amount, like I did this at a small kickboxing gym, they only had like 15 people. So I just charged by the hour, and it was great. It was awesome. And, you know, you build your confidence, but you also build your authority, because trust me, like, when I go around, people will stop my husband or they'll stop me and be like, oh my God, I think you taught me. And that was so great. Like, oh my God, I always say it to my husband, or I always say to my wife, like, you know, she helped me so much. So I feel like it's such an important part. So whether you're kind of called to connect with doctors, or maybe your own doctor or your own acupuncturist, think of your own circle and reach out to those people. So this is how it's going to go down, guys. Tomorrow, Carrie is at 2. I know many of you will be at work, but we're at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And just if you have any questions about you will get the replays. So I don't want to like clog up your emails, but you'll get the replays. And please reach out to me if there's any questions. Schedule a time with me if you need to talk, because I'm here and I've done it. And so if it's gyms or goals or shopping tours or anything, and you want to kind of craft like which program, I'm more than happy to help you. And again, the site is www.yourhealthcoachbiz.com, and I will be sending the replay out. Thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful night, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys. Thank you, Jessica, too. Bye, guys.